FightHype.com here with young Cuba. It was a tough fight, a little bit closer than obviously you would have liked to expect, but assess your performance.
I felt I did okay. You know what I'm saying? I definitely could have did better. I definitely could have made the fight much easier. In the beginning, for most of the beginning part of the fight, I was controlling them, you know what I'm saying? I got away from the things that was controlling the fight in the beginning that made the fight close. You know, I let them gain too much confidence at the end. You know, I was pulling back a little bit. You know, I lost a little focus towards the end of the fight, which, you know what I'm saying, made the fight so close. But again, I was dominating the beginning of the fight, so I thought I won the fight, you know, easy, you know what I'm saying? A majority decision, I see it, but I thought I won the fight by at least 2 rounds, you know, at least I was giving it 5-3, you know, but it was a great learning experience. You know, again, I'm fighting guys with 30+ fights. He's another one of my opponents who has another 30+ fights. You know, he's a tough guy. He's been in there with a lot of tough people. You know, and it usually goes around. He hasn't been stopped a lot. My goal was to stop him, but he knew how to survive. You know, he knew how to make the tough fight for me, and he made me grow as a professional. And then this fight is going to make me grow even more.
Was there anything about him that kind of surprised you? It seemed like you landed some really clean shots early. And he seemed to. I thought he took them better than I expected.
Yeah, me too. You know, my plan was to try to wear him down, which is the beginning. You know, I was just thinking I was trying to box him, wear him down, but he figured out a way to survive. You know, I had a lot of hard shots I was throwing in the inside, and he just knew how to just deflect the power just a little bit to make them shots not as effective. But again, I was landing the harder shots for the most part. You know, I was landing the cleaner shots. You know, he was just so wild and such a fan favorite type of fighter because he's just throwing them. You know, so he ended up throwing me off a little bit once he was gaining some more confidence. At the end, I felt that I was going to wear him down enough where I'd be able to take over at the second part of the fight. But he ended up stepping it up. So he made me step my game up. You know, I proved to people that I could take a shot. He hit me clean. You know, I wasn't hurt. I was never wobbled. You know, and I fought to the end. You know, and I was in there to throw him. You know, and the only way he was gonna beat me was knocking me out, and that was not gonna happen.
It looked like a lot of the shots. I mean, like you said, he's kind of a crowd pleaser. You know, he was throwing some big, wild, looping shots. It looked like a lot of them, when they did land, it looked like they were landing on your arms, your forearms, and stuff like that. And it looked like you made an effort to try and show the judges, like, yo, that didn't really land.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. You know, I made sure my defense was tight. I knew coming into the fight that what type of a fighter he was. I knew he was gonna try to rough me up. I knew he was gonna try to, you know, headbutt me, hit me behind the head, use some little veteran tactics to throw me off. So, you know, I tried to stay sharp on my defense, you know, and for the most part, like I said in the beginning part of the fight, 75% of the fight, my defense was good. It was just those couple times where I slipped up and I lost focus, pulling back, not turning them much, where I let them gain some confidence and let them land a couple of those shots, which, you know, let the fans get involved, you know. But, you know, I'm associated with Floyd Mayweather, so off tops, if I'm not looking great, you know, they're gonna boo me, they're gonna say whatever. But I felt like it was a good fight. You know, I came to fight, I was throwing them the entire time. You know, it didn't matter how many times he hit me, I was still throwing back. I stood my ground. And, you know, it was a great learning experience. You know, I'm glad I got this type of fight, and it's just another stepping stone for me, you know, on my way to the title shot.
I was gonna ask you if you think that, you know, because you are a TMT fighter, because you do fight for Floyd Mayweather, obviously there are certain expectations that fans have. Like, do you think that kind of works against you in a fight like that, you know, maybe looks close but isn't quite as close as some people might think?
To an extent, you know, like, for the most part, I like to focus in, you know, just on the fight. You know, I try not to, you know, listen to the crowd. But when you're hearing shit like, oh, Floyd's gonna fire him, or all this shit, you know, it's obviously people feel a certain type of way. Again, you know, it's Floyd Mayweather's the greatest, so anything that's with Floyd, you already have a high expectation. So they obviously wanted me to come in there, either knock him out or completely blow him out. You know what I'm saying? But I'm so young in my career that I'm taking these tough fights. They're learning experiences, you know. And you know, it is what it is. You know, at the end of the day, there was not one fan out there that was mad about the fight, because we was in there throwing them. You know, it was a crowd pleasing fight. And I said, like I've said before, I'm gonna be a fan favorite just because of the way I fight. You know, we just got to work on a couple things, stay sharp, you know, and just try to stay sharp 8 rounds, 10 rounds, 12 rounds. You know, because taking off those round or two, or letting people gain that type of, you know, confidence towards the end of the fight, you know, could hurt me, you know, especially when I'm fighting these veteran guys with 30, 35 fights. So, I mean, we're good, you know, I'm happy with the fight. At the end of the day, we came out with the victory, regardless if it was a majority decision or split decision. We came out with the W, and it was just a learning experience. We'll go back to the drawing board and get ready for May 3rd.
I was about to say, how important are these type, you know, I mean, obviously you want to go in there and get a quick performance and stuff like that, but, you know, when you do get an opportunity to go rounds like this, I mean, how important is that for you in order to learn, in order to, you know, kind of hone your craft and hone some of the things that you want to do?
I think it's perfect for me. You know what I'm saying? These type of fights are just, I want to learn the things I need to learn early. Like in my opinion, the people around me, the type of boxing that I've been doing, the type of work that I have, the work ethic, I should not be having learning experiences, with bums in the beginning.
Right.
Fighting bums and getting those guys out of there is not teaching me anything. So I've asked for these type of fights. When I sat down with Floyd and Leonard, I've asked for the tough fights. I said you can move me quickly. So these are the type of fights that I need right now. I don't need to learn these lessons when I'm 16-0, 17-0. I need to learn these lessons right now so I can move up quickly. That was a great 8-round fight for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm only 9 fights in and I'm fighting 8 rounds, and I'm learning how to go to rounds. Now I know exactly the certain things that I need to work on to just make me better and make me a better 8 to 10, 12 round fighter. So it was a perfect learning experience. Like I said, the guy was tough. He went in there 10 rounds with Cloudy. You know what I'm saying? Right. Regardless of Cloudy used to be a 47 pounder, it's the fact that he's going the rounds with these people. So he's a learning experience for a lot of guys, and he's tough as nails. So I'm glad this happened. I'm glad I got this learning experience, and it was a great fight for me, and it was a great fight for the fans.